In a majority of cases, a person who is doing the design of a database is a person with expertise in the area of database design, rather than expertise in the domain from which the data to be stored is drawn, such as in financial information, biological information, etc. Therefore, the data to be stored in a database must be determined in cooperation with the person who does have expertise in that domain and who is aware of what data must be stored within the system. This process is one which is generally considered part of the requirement analysis and requires skill on the part of the database designer to elicit the needed information from those within the domain knowledge. This is because those with the necessary domain knowledge frequently cannot express clearly what their system requirements for the database are, as they are unaccustomed to thinking in terms of the discrete data elements which must be stored. Data to be stored can be determined by requirement specification. Once a database engineer or designer is aware of the data which is to be stored within the database, they must then determine where dependency is within the data. Sometimes when data is changed, you can be changing other data that is not visible. For example, in a list of names and addresses, assuming a situation where multiple people can have the same address, but one person cannot have more than one address, the address is dependent upon the name. When provided a name and the list, the address can be uniquely determined. However, the inverse does not hold. When given an address and the list, a name cannot be uniquely determined because multiple people can reside at an address. Because an address is determined by a name, an address is considered dependent on a name. Once the relationships and dependencies amongst the various pieces of information have been determined, it is possible to arrange the data into a logical structure which can then be mapped into storage objects supported by the database management system.